Yama, seated below the chasm of fire, is a new boss introduced by Dxadcxt on the 14th of May 2025. Yama holds now the best slash armor in the game and introduces the new surge potion which you can take a sip from every 5 minutes, restoring 25% spec. You can also get a new spec weapon called the Soul Flame Horn, which is an AoE buff for you and your teammates to guarantee your next hit. Very useful when coming to raids. In today's video, we will touch on the mechanics of the boss fight, my encounters with the boss on my Iron Man, and some bonus trial and error clips. And for the gear setup, this is what I actually use, except from the purging staff. I just wanted to put it in there because probably people thinking I'm a bit weird using the Iron staff, but I haven't been lucky at the Tormented Demons for the Synapse. You can also upgrade yourself to the Ancestral Virtus, as well as the ring going up to Magus as well, and obviously using the purging staff. So we predominantly used a mage setup for the duo. So on this first kill, I basically was using a mage melee setup, but obviously the melee was just for the demon here after the stepping stones. And obviously with the mage, I'm using the Mark of Darkness as well as the Corruption for the Arceus spellbook, and obviously using my Thralls as well. I think this was getting into the second phase. Yeah, this is the second phase. So this was my first, well, one of the first proper attempts, and obviously we were still trying to get our heads around some of the mechanics. But this does turn out to be a kill, my first ever kill at Yama. But this was probably with loads of food being used and loads of the potions being used in the inventory. I would recommend, if you're starting out here, is probably going with about 2 restore potions, or 2 to 4 restore potions, as well as probably 2 to 4 brews, as well as the rest being combo food as well. Making sure that you bring enough runes as well, as the casts do actually cost a lot when doing the boss fight. So it's just navigating around and making sure that you're avoiding damage as you're starting out, if you're just starting out to learn this fight. But I will produce a guide if you guys are interested. Just let me know in the comment section below and we can throw out a guide for you. So we're just coming up to the end of the second phase, about to go down into the stepping stone area. We just need to get to about 30%, and then here we go. And then we go into the stepping stone phase, going through the stepping stones. You can quickly click them just to get through on the fire phase there. So as he's throwing out the fireballs, and then it's just an alternation of the attacks. So one is mage, one is melee. Just keeping an eye on his overhead prayers there as well. So as we come out of the stepping stone phase, we go into the last phase. Now this is where it really got messy, but like I said, it was a learning process for trying to learn the mechanics. It was the first day of Yama coming out, so we decided just to run around and avoid all the damage. But later in the video, obviously I'll go into a bit more detail about the mechanics, so you guys know exactly what to expect when you're going into the fight. But looking at this, it was kind of like trial and error, really. It was looking back on this, actually looks like a lot more trial and error, because I didn't know the flame balls and everything that was dropping. I didn't know there was a pattern to it. So you, really, in theory, you could just do a side step. You got to make sure you take down them flares there as well that you just saw that was tagged. So you got to make sure they go down, otherwise the boss restores HP. There's one red flare, one purple flare. You're going to take both of them down. At this point, I was kind of just like, oh yeah, I'll just run through the flames. But if you can see there's a sort of an X going on. You kind of got to meet the X in the middle to run through. And then with the flame walls, you're just making sure that you step through 2 tiles away. So as the flame wall's 2 tiles away from you, just click through it and you'll not take any damage. And also his auto attacks, as you can see, it actually cycles from mage to range, but I didn't know this, or shall I say me and my friend Collie there didn't know this, so we were just kind of guessing. And as you can see, we are literally onto the bones of our arse with the amount of food that we had, but we did manage to get it down. That was our first KC.
Little thing will spawn.
No matter, skipped it. Wow, what the fuck happened there? You've been injured, you can't use protect. What? What? The fuck's just happened? It just kicked me out.
Oh,
What? Why does that just kick me out?
How does that work?
What the fuck? Why does that just kick me out? Have I just pressed something I shouldn't have pressed? Let's go! Another kill! Let's go! 4KC right now. Let's go. Another kill, baby! 6 and the new personal best, 5 minutes 18. More supplies. In the name of the Father, and the only Son, the only Ghost, Amen. Teleports. Nice. 7KC. Not too bad. New collection log. Managed to kill it on AKC and this fucking supply run as well. Oh shit, you got some shards. Let's go. Congrats, man. How much are they worth now? Like 500k? Oh, we see a barrel. Okay, we'd say that. Nice. Nice. Did you get a... Is that a new one for you? Nice, bro. Very nice. When you start the boss encounter, you need to protect from Mage or range, and his first attack depends on what the swirl is around you. In this case, it's a range attack. Then he'll do a special attack, which is a fire attack. As you can see here, you need to stand on the fire glyph, which is the red glyph. And then make sure that you head over to the next glyph to stand next to it, as it will be a ranged glyph, or ranged attack, shall I say. And then continue to protect from Mage as he's putting the ring of fire around your body. You'll then see a firewall and also a range attack that goes around him. You need to make sure that you protect from range, and then when the firewall comes towards you, step through it, and you have to be 2 tiles away for when this happens. Then you'll see some fire emerging from the left and right of you, and you need to make sure that you move out of the way, and it'll do another fire attack, so that you need to make sure you stand on the fire glyph and also then start protecting from Mage. Around 60% or 66%, shall I say, he will then send you into the abyss, and you need to go on to the stepping stone phase. On the stepping stones phase, you need to make sure that you click on the stepping stones and make your way to the other end, avoiding all the fireballs. Start your attack with Mage and then onto melee, and alternate your attacks, as you can see with the overhead prayers from the demon. If you're in a duo, both of the attacks will count towards the health pool of the demon. Once you've killed the demon, he'll send you back into the room with Yama, and you're on to the second phase. The second phase, it will be the same attack or auto attack as the last phase. And as you can see the fireball coming towards you, you just need to make sure you go on to the fire glyph and change your protect from range to protect from Mage. Continue with the attacks and stand next to the next glyph, which is the purple glyph or the range glyph. And as you can see the firewall come towards you, and there's also now a range attack special, so you stand on the range glyph and making sure that you go through the X of the fire walls to completely avoid both firewalls. And as you can see from left and right is the fire walls coming again, and another fire attack, so you need to stand on the fire glyph and protect from Mage. Around 30% he will send you back into the stepping stones and into the abyss to fight the small demon. Making sure that you keep an eye on the flares around you as well. There's some flares that do spawn, a purple and red flare, and you've got to make sure that you kill them on the Yama. In the stepping stone phase, you do exactly what you did before, is just completely avoid the fireballs, and then also alternate your attacks. So as you're going into phase 3, you need to make sure that you pray the relevant attack that was on the last phase, which in our case was range. The fireballs will come down. I need to make sure you sidestep correctly to avoid the fireballs pattern. So you go forward, then diagonal, and then side. There's always forward, diagonal, side. Step on the ground marker and go through, because you're 2 away, so you can go through the X of the firewall. If you don't successfully go through the X of the firewall, it will take your prayer off, so you need to reapply your prayer. As you can see here, you go forward, diagonal, side. Take down the flares. Once you get it down, it's very, very simple. But, you know, the first few tries you might get a little bit flustered. It's simple enough. And alternating your prayers as well. So, for example, if the first attack was Mage, you need to make sure that after the special attack, whether it's firewalls or fireballs coming down, that you switch to range or Mage, whichever you started with. As you can see, the firewall took my prayer off. So forward, diagonal, side. Always the same. And as the firewalls come, just make sure the flares are going down as well. And then back to the ground marker. See, I messed up there. Nearly died. Nearly died again. Nearly died again. But yeah, as the firewalls come, step on the ground marker, and then as it's 2 away, the fire, you just step through, and then just do your fireballs again. Rinse and repeat until it's dead. Pretty straightforward once you get it, but the third phase is extremely chaotic, so don't beat yourself up if you don't get it first time. I'm still trying to perfect it, but I'll be honest with you. I still get hit now and again, but as long as you got enough food, enough pots, you'll be fine. So yeah, that's how to kill it, and I hope you enjoyed. I got some O-Plate shards. Let's go! Yes, boys. Let's go. Got some more shards. Let's go. Yay. That's awesome.